you by Totally Tan and Spa.
This War of the Roses is going to make you ask yourself, would you forgive your fiancé for what he had done in the past? And here to tell you all about it is our War of the Roses, would you say contestant, participant? Participant today is Sadie. Probably the first Sadie we've ever had on War of the Roses. Hi, Sadie.
Hello.
So talk to me about what it is that you've been through with you're engaged, so he's your fiance, Andrew.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of background, and you hear War of the Roses on KDWB, and you were telling me a while ago, you said, I never thought I'd do War of the Roses, but I realized it's kind of perfect before you make a big step and get married and move and uproot your life. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, it's okay. Well, it's kind of a long story. Andrew and I are engaged, and he has actually just moved to Dallas for work. So it's kind of a long distance relationship right now. Kind of waiting to sell the townhouse, everything. I will be relocating at some point. Just right now, my life is here.
Yeah,
I understand.
So anyway, in the past, he would do a lot of travel with his company, and they're based out of Florida, so he did a lot of traveling back and forth to Florida, usually like once a month. And I had found out during one of these, or multiple of these trips, that he was finding hookups on Craigslist, basically. So while he would be in Florida, he would, find some girl to hook up with through Craigslist, and I found it by going through his emails. It sounds awful, but I mean, we kind of share a lot of things, so it's not as if I was totally snooping, but I just had a feeling. So anyway, so we went to therapy for it. In therapy, the counselor had said that these were not emotional cheatings. These were sexual releases, and that was okay. It was just something for me to decide if I was also okay with that, and, willing to forgive that and kind of move forward.
That's very weird for me that a therapist would say, hey, you know what, it was just, just getting off, no big deal.
I think the therapist has to be, understanding to both sides. Even though, I think when you're a therapist, I don't know, but I would think that they probably can't just be like, oh, you're awful, you've ruined your trust. They have to, kind of make the other person understand, the reasoning why they might have done something, that it wasn't a personal attack. But, and then, so, I mean, obviously, you didn't just think, oh, no problem, he's just having a release. I'm assuming he's not doing this anymore, to your knowledge.
Right. And that's what I chose to go with. I chose with, okay, I will forgive this sexual release thing and, move forward. I wanted to move forward with them, so I've been really working on getting past that. So just recently I was visiting him, and I had gone shopping while I was down there and, bought more stuff than what I could take back with me. So I borrowed one of his carry-on bags to come back home. And when I got home, was going, emptying everything out, checking all the pockets, making sure everything was empty. And I found this paper. So I opened it up, and it was a caricature of him and some woman, and there was a date on it. The artist had put a date on it. That was from 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, it's one of those, those caricature drawings where it's they're them together and
I get
they're a couple, and it's, so I call him.
Yeah.
I call him, and I'm like, what is this? And he says that, he's like, yeah, that was done. He didn't deny it. He was like, it was a work party. It was like a Vegas night theme or something. So they had caricature artists, slot machines. They had all that sort of Vegas-y whatever.
Okay.
He was like, she's a real person. Look her up on Facebook. I'm like, well, everybody's on Facebook, so of course she's on Facebook. But
okay, it doesn't make it okay that she's she's a real girl. She's not a whore. She's on Facebook.
You're like, oh, well, that case.
Okay, so now you're worried that it's he says that's a coworker.
Right.
Did you verify? Did you go on Facebook at all, and did you see where she works? And kind of back that up.
Well, I mean, I went on Facebook. Yeah, I saw her there. it did say that she worked in the company as well, but
that doesn't clear him, though.
No.
I mean, really, it doesn't clear him one way or the other because.
right.
I mean, I think if Fallon and I went to, let's say we went on a trip we're going on the trip to Mexico.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And let's say there's a caricature artist, and Fallon and I, we say, hey, let's do something stupid and get a caricature together. And,
Yes.
And we got a caricature together. I mean, it might look like we're a couple, and they would put a date on there.
Yeah.
But just the age difference alone would make people vomit because people would say, oh, my God, that young, beautiful girl, who's she? Why is she snuggling up with her grandpa?
You have money. You have money.
'Cause I
That's
have
why. Yeah.
Okay. So he explains it away, but you're not quite satisfied.
right.
Okay.
There's just something that doesn't sit well with me, and I don't know if it's from the past, I'm getting I'm getting this feeling, and that's why I've contacted you guys to do this War of the Roses.
Let me ask you a question. A little detective work here.
Oh, God.
Where in the suitcase was this picture stashed? Because I'm trying to figure out whether he tried to keep it neat and sharp, or was it folded up and stuffed into the front pocket where you put all the crap that you can't fit inside?
It was in that front pocket, that outside pocket, on
Yep.
the
So
front end.
he folded it up. He didn't care. He stuffed it inside there. Didn't want to throw it away. I don't think he cared. I don't
Okay.
think. I don't know that means anything. But I think if he really cared about her, he might have said, "Oh, look, here's me and
I
this
don't
girl."
think he cares about any of the girls.
Well, that could be too. That's a good point. He doesn't care. He just wants to hook
Hook it
up. Okay. Well, here's what we can do, Sadie. We can call Andrew. We can call him down in Dallas, and we can give him the survey, offer to send a dozen roses to whoever he wants to, and hopefully he'll choose you up here in the Twin Cities and not some girl. Where does this girl work? Does she work? Does she live in Dallas, or is she in Florida, or do you know where she even is based out of?
From what because everybody can kind of travel with the company. From what it looks like, she's based out of Dallas.
Okay. She's not here, that's for sure.
No.
No, she's not here.
Okay, gotcha. All right, here we go.
Hi. All right, Andrew, we're finished with your time. I just need a couple more seconds because we do have to get those roses sent out for you as our way of saying thank you. What we need from you is a name. Who would you like to send those dozen roses to?
I would like to send them to Sadie.
Okay. And you can attach a card. It's up to you. What would you like the card to say?
How about, I miss you every day, and I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together.
All right.
Love, Andrew.
Very nice. That's very nice. Hey, Andrew. Here's the fun news right now. A little bit of surprise, a little confusing right now. Guess who is listening in on this phone call right now? Go ahead and guess.
I guess.
Well, you don't even know who I am,
Sadie?
so yes, it is Sadie.
I don't even.
Yeah,
what's going on?
It is.
Good guess.
It is Sadie. It's your girlfriend. Say hi, Sadie.
Hi, babe.
Not just girlfriend, but fiance. And let me explain who I am,
Sadie.
and let me explain what's going on here. We are. You used to live in Minneapolis, so you probably heard of KDWB radio, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And you might have heard of the Dave Ryan in the Morning Show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, maybe you don't remember. We used to do a bit, and we still do a bit, called War of the Roses, where every week on a Thursday, we call somebody and we find out whether they are seeing somebody else by asking them who do they want to send roses to, or who do they want to go on a couple's retreat to, or a couple's massage, or a B&B. And so today, we called you because Sadie wanted us to call you to see who you would send roses to. And you passed the test. The good news is, Andrew, you passed the test. You sent him to Sadie.
Yes.
I mean, Sadie. Who else would I send
know.
them to?
Who else would I send him
really
to is a
sorry.
good question. Explain to Andrew why you were testing him a little bit.
Well, everything that happened in the past, and then that whole caricature picture popping up a couple of weeks ago, it kind of brought up all those old feelings from the past and everything. So I just kind of got caught up in that, and so I was going to make sure that we were okay.
I thought we were like past this. You know, we worked all this out. We went and saw somebody together, and you know, if I love you, I mean, if anything, you just talk to me about it. You don't have to try and trick me. You know that I love you.
I know. I'm sorry, baby.
Now, I hope this, you know, I'm not one to butt into anybody's relationship, as you know, but I hope this doesn't turn into, I mean, for you, Sadie, and I feel bad for you, that every time he talks to a girl from work, you're like, who's that? Or a girl says hi to him down at Caribou, and you go, who's that? Or you're texting someone, and she's like, who are you texting? I hope it doesn't turn into that. Do you worry? I mean, Sadie, yourself, worry sometimes that it's going to turn into that?
I do, honestly. I'm working really, really hard on getting past that. So this actually is helping me to realize, to get past it. I have to let it go and to forgive it and, you know, move on, you know.
Who's the girl in the caricature, Andrew?
It was just a girl from, we had this thing on a work, like on one of the way on work, like it was a Vegas night, and they just had a whole bunch of different things there, and one of the things was somebody drawing a caricature, and
I can give you a pass on that. I'll give you a pass on that. I actually had a caricature done with an old coworker that I used to work with here at an event we went to, so I can understand that. Like, if you're really moving on, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
we talked about it. And you agreed. You know, you were like, all right, I believe you. And then, you know, I don't know if that's who you thought I was going to send these to, but I mean, you can listen. I didn't hesitate. They're going to you. This is not a person that's in my life at all. It's just a person I was.
Yeah, I got to tell you, of all the War of the Roses I remember recently, this guy seems probably the most innocent. I mean,
well,
outside of the original,
maybe.
Yeah, that type of thing. You know, that's a good point, and not completely innocent. But at this point, you're going to wipe the slate clean, and you agreed to do that. Since then, a caricature with a coworker, not very incriminating.
Yeah.
Panties from a coworker, totally different thing. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was just a caricature. So, and I love Sadie. I love you, and you know, we're gonna be together.